Mercer, one half of the Tag Team Champions. I'm here to tell you that if you want to be a champion, if you want to survive this thing, wear your freaking mask, okay? It comes in all different colors. You can get Eclipse Blue, JC White and Black, or even hell, Blue and Gold. But guys, please, also remember, please, it goes over the nose. Over the nose. Thank you.
For a foot or an inch, yeah, I fight for you all. Is the truth and I'm in, yeah, I fight for every breath that I take.
What's up? It's the Gigabyte Grizzly Brohemian, and this is a messed up time we live in, so I need you all to do me a favor. Wear your mask. Like this, not like this, or like this, or like this, like this. Wear your mask. It's for your safety and mine. Because if I see you without one, I'm gonna pump kick a mask onto your face. Got it?
announcement from Benjamin C. Steele talking to you about wearing a mask. Not this one, but this one. With everything going on right now with this pandemic, you need to wear a mask. My mask is for your safety. Your mask is for mine. I don't care what your uncles, brothers, best friends, mailman's roommate from college put on social media. Chances are they didn't think it through, and there's a very better than average chance that they're an idiot. So when you go outside, you put on your little mask over your face, put the little straps around your ears, and we're all going to be a lot safer. This is 18.
Parental discretion is advised.
This show is brought to you by IndieWrestling.us and IndieWrestling.network for your independent wrestling entertainment. Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Just Pro Wrestling News Podcast. No filler, no pop-ups. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the
It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show, episode 798. Tuesdays, we've been talking about professionalized wrestling. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the Twitter. And here in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, ready to have some fun here tonight with some very special guests we'll get to in just a moment. But in the meantime, from Beacon, New York, he is the only Mayhemmer with a future endeavor letter from the WWE. He is Mad Freaking Mike.
Oh, don't lump me in with Seth Rollins, Sorg.
Okay. Wait, what?
Don't lump me, because now Seth Rollins is Seth freaking Rollins.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Wait, that's good company. Come on, Seth's been doing killer stuff over there. He's been
I know, but
love
like
Seth
Sorg,
now.
Sorg, we can curse here. I'm Mad fucking Mike.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, come on. This ain't PG.
No, it definitely isn't. Not on this show for sure. So how you doing, Mike? Since
I'm
last
doing
night,
all right.
when our goofy snowed in from home does the internet work show.
You sound a lot better
Oh,
today.
good, because we actually have the studio and an internet connection plugged into the wall.
Yeah.
So...
I think whatever you eventually do for Matt's home, you should probably do for your own as well.
Yeah. It's listen, man. I can't run wires. It's how do you run wires in a 100-year-old home without being sad? This is basically my problem.
Sorg, you could probably write a Pixar movie on how to do that.
It's more like Ron's Gone Wrong. Anyways, we got some very special guests here this week. First of all, we got a duo. We have a duo of sorts with us. There they are. First of all, we have the Lebanon Don Joey Moses joining you. How you doing, Joey?
Oh, I'm doing good. Thank you. Thanks for having us.
And, of course, he is backed up by Tito Oric with us, the Bosnian Breaker? Is that what the Twitter says?
The Bone Breaker.
Bone Breaker, Bosnian Bone Breaker with us. I guess a little disclaimer. Tito does not speak English. So he will be, well, I don't know if he'll be silent or not. We'll kind of see how it goes here. But it was kind of we invited the Lebanon Don on for the first time, and Tito kind of came with the package. Is that right, Joey?
Yeah, he comes everywhere I come. Yeah, he's everywhere. If I'm there, he's there. It's it's a package deal.
Okay, and we'll be talking a little bit about you guys and your dynamic here later in the show, and if I understand you're something of a translator for him as well. Is that correct?
It is correct. Yes.
So if he does have any opinions about what's going on the show,
I'll be sure to put them out there.
Okay. All right. So we'll this is something a little different for the show here. If you're on the audio version, he's very big, and I've seen him do some very bad things to people that have been on the show before.
For someone who has never seen him before, he is a large man and scares me very much.
There you go.
That's the point, right?
Mad Mike is scared Mike today. So
Yep. I do not want to offend him.
No, absolutely not. And we've had some very imposing figures in the past. Mike doesn't mind that he's 8 hours away right now. So
Yeah, I'm very comfortable with that.
very comfortable with this idea.
Sorg, 8 to 10 hours. You don't know.
Okay.
I don't want to give a specific time frame.
let's not narrow that down there just in case.
Disregard the city mentioned in my intro.
Yes. And for those asking in the chat room, because I know we did have Beastman, and that's where the universal translator couch helps us with his interviews, it is not tuned to Bosnian. So it speaks Beastman. We didn't pay for the upgrade, okay? But we'll work on that.
If you need
for
help
next
with
time.
that, let me
Yeah.
know.
Well, there you go. We need. Well, there are some sponsorship opportunities, which we'll talk about in just a moment here. So we were wondering if we needed to add a Lebanon Don level to the Patreon page. So
No, we can help with the dial-up internet access that you have over there.
Well, there's
so,
that too.
yeah.
Okay. Well, at least we can start somewhere. But anyways, this is the Wrestling Mayhem Show. You can check everything out at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. This and the other fine side podcasts that we do. You can also hit us up at that email address.
Good times.
Good times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com or 412-206-WMS0 is the hotline. Please give that a call with any thoughts, or especially if you need the drunk dial when you're snowed in, wherever you may be this week. I understand it's coming around again for some of you. Also, we have a lot going on the Facebook group, and as well as Wrestling Mayhem Show on the Discord and Reddit. We do understand the links to the Discord may have expired, so we're going to see about updating those on the website if you're having any issues with that. But we have been having some pretty good conversations happening over there on both the Discord and the group, and I see some people have been popping up on the Reddit as well. And we've been putting, of course, the shows and some other news things out on there. So if you want to be a part of that, please join the whatever community you would like to. We're also, of course, on Twitter at Mayhem Show, and we are live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on the Facebook Live for Wrestling Mayhem Show, on the YouTube page for the Wrestling Mayhem Show and IndieWrestling.us, on the Twitch page for Sorgatron Media and IndieWrestling.us, and on the Twitter page at Mayhem Show. As mentioned before, we do have multiple chat rooms in front of me right now, and in case people have anything to say in any of those other chat rooms except for Twitter, we haven't integrated that so well. But of course, if you have any responses on there, we'll be replying to them in kind after the show. So a shout out. So we do see Brandon out in Kansas City, who should be joining us, from what I understand, on Mayhem Mania later at the top of the next hour. Tina out in Seattle. Dave Ponner's hanging out there. And then Mad Mike, you're in there hanging out as well. So you guys can be part of that show here every Tuesday with us and help influence how the show goes. So let's talk about influence. Let's talk about a little bit of the news for the week. Mike, it seems like it's a lot of comings and goings in contracts lately, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I think first we have to talk about a very TNA move.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Cody Rhodes, the current AEW TNT champion, is not under contract with AEW.
Apparently, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yeah,
and he's going to be on AEW Dynamite this week. Probably potentially address the situation. I don't know.
I don't know. Like TNA was famous for this, for giving people championships that weren't officially under contract. In fact, Mickie James, their current Knockouts champion, does not have a TNA contract.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just weird. I don't like when they do this. It's like, granted, I don't think Cody's going anywhere, but he could.
Mm-hmm.
Theoretically.
Now, Cody doesn't have simply a wrestling contract with AEW either. Like, he has something of an executive role there too, right?
Yeah, he's one of the EVPs, but I don't know if that's just like his talent contract that's expired,
mm-hmm.
or if it's like his whole contract.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they haven't really been specific on that. I'm assuming it's just the talent portion of the contract, because like Triple H and Stephanie, they have talent contracts when they're actively wrestling and everything too. So
mm-hmm.
I'm sure it's probably not that big of a deal, but
I feel like this is an orchestrated thing, Mike. I really feel like this is a orchestrated news item to rile people up for AEW and see what happens next.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the recent,
probably.
Yeah.
I heard someone even say that this is Cody's out to challenge for the world title because he will not be an officially contracted AEW wrestler.
Oh, come on.
I heard that. Sorg, would it shock you?
Yes, it would. I don't think that's. You've been looking for a reason for him to renege on that for like 2 years.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen at some point.
Yeah, just like the loser leaves town match, the guy never comes back.
Yeah, no. And if they do, it's under a mask, and they call themselves El Vagabundo, or the Canadian Kid.
Lebanon Don, you are one of wheeling and dealing. We'll talk about a little bit of that later. I mean, will you have any takes on Cody and this free agent situation with him?
Yeah, you know what? I think at the end of the day, I think it's a ploy. I really do. I think he's really trying to get his heel character over, and if he has this out of, hey, I may not be here next week. I could go somewhere else. The Royal Rumble's in 2 weeks. I think it's more of a ploy to just try to get him to be more of a heel than he's ever been at this point.
Could he do something where he walks away with the real belt or something? Either way, we just end up with a ladder match at the next pay-per-view, right? Like Shawn Michaels in Razor Ramon style.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it feels like the right thing to do.
Right.
we got 2 belts, It was we gotta put them on a ladder.
Put him up there.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
just to make sure. So I mean, we did get a little bit of version of that with even Will Ospreay with the at least calling the champion the interim after he was out with injury for an extended period and everything like that. So it could be, it could be, it feels very wrestling to me. It feels very storyline to me with this, and feels very conveniently inconvenient that he happens to be walking around with a belt and hasn't been seen for 2 weeks on television, 3 weeks on television.
But I do think that if he has the possibility to show up at the Royal Rumble only because he can use the name Cody Rhodes, and I think that I think the Mickie James thing is interesting because she can just show up as Mickie James and everybody knows her. John Moxley couldn't show up to the Royal Rumble because he couldn't be John Moxley, right? He would be Dean Ambrose. But Cody Rhodes is one of those people that he could show up as Cody Rhodes and everybody would know him. So I think that's also interesting.
I don't know the name would be a disqualifier because remember we did get Diesel one year.
That's true. That is true. That is true.
I mean, I think you just show. I think it's just you show up in this world over here, and this. If you're going to be in this world, you're this name. You're the thing they remember you in this world. Like if John Moxley shows up for a Hall of Fame because it makes sense because Seth or Roman's going in, he's Dean Ambrose, right?
Right.
I mean, like those outside of the veil kind of situations. So, but man, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like Diesel and Scott Hall are in the Hall of Fame, and so are Diesel and Razor Ramon are in the Hall of Fame, and so are Kevin Nash and Scott Hall.
That's right.
Right. That's true.
That's right. How many gimmicks did you have? How many rings is Steve Lombardi going to get? Is what I want to know. So, and he's out. He's with that kind of last round of cuts and whatnot. So I'm hoping that means they give the guy a ring. Because if anybody deserves is Steve damn Lombardi, because he's been there for ever. I mean everything from the brawler to I don't know, at least one of the doinks, one of the
Abe Knuckleball Schwartz.
Abe Knuckleball Schwartz, exactly. There you go. That guy's gonna need extra hands for rings after that situation. But no, I get that could it'll be interesting to see what goes. I think we'll have a little bit of idea after we see what happens on Dynamite Wednesday night too, with Cody. The other interesting contract news: Mustafa. See, we've been relearning it because he's been educating us the last couple of years. Mustafa Ali apparently has requested his release. He's been very vocal on Twitter over the last a while for
ever since his injury with Kofi happened, and he was replaced by Kofi. Ever since he came back, he did like the hacker gimmick, and then he's just been all over Twitter.
Well, Retribution really kind of got flattened pretty quick there. So I think it's I think he's every right to be, because it just seems like he can't get a foothold anywhere for as hard as he tries. And the stuff he's been doing has been tremendous. And the stuff he's been doing off TV on just his Twitter, just doing these amazing promos. And he's and he's one. It's been featured at least on at least on WWE's YouTube. About how he's a former cop and trying to be a good role model for
Middle Eastern.
Yeah, for Middle Eastern people in the U.S. especially. So and I think the statement was something along the lines of I can probably do more outside than in here, right? So I mean, he's got the name. I think he could go just do bonkers anywhere else at this point, like so many
and
are.
He's also heavily petitioned. Apparently, there was a casting call out for someone that basically exactly described Mustafa Ali for the Blade movie. and he was like, Marvel, put me in the Blade movie. This is who you're looking for. So, yes, I want to throw that out there.
And I've heard of things like that. I don't know if it was that or somebody else that had recently been let go said that one of their last straws was something like they were up for a movie and WWE kiboshed it. Like something.
Oh,
to that
yeah,
effect.
that happens all the time.
Yeah, like that would be so frustrating that you're trying to expand and do that and do it in, under the banner of WWE, and then they don't let you because they're like it was somebody that they did that, and then they were looking at throwing Roman Reigns at the role or something. Like somebody like one of their obvious Randy Orton. I think it was a Randy Orton got thrown in there. I bet it was that Papers movie.
Well, he was supposed to do the Marine, I think, right? Wasn't Randy Orton supposed to do the Marine, and then they switched. I think it was they switched to John Cena.
Orton was signed on to do the Marine, but then they got some backlash because of his dishonorable discharge.
Right.
From
that
the
makes
military.
sense.
So
That makes sense, though. Is that where we got Ted DiBiase Jr.?
yes,
So
either that, Ted DiBiase, Ted Jr.
that makes sense. We're like, okay, who's the closest to this? So it's like
Just get someone else from Legacy.
Yeah,
Fine.
Yeah, there you go. Just a swap out. So sorry, Cody. You'll get Arrow eventually. No, absolutely. It's been interesting because I've been reading about their movies lately, and the latest statement from WWE about the WWE Films projects is they've determined, go figure, that there's not as much. It's not as lucrative for them to make films, but more to license stuff out. And I think we're talking about things like the Netflix properties, like the Big Show, the Halloween interactive movie that we all enjoyed with the New Day and Undertaker, things like that.
And the upcoming Vince McMahon project for Netflix too.
Yeah, there's this Rumble movie on Paramount that's a CG WWE Films kind of thing. I haven't had a chance to watch it just yet, but it's on the list. But it's interesting to see those kinds of moves happen. So Tina mentioned in respect to our multiple Hall of Fames is like next thing you know, Diamond Stud and Vinny Vegas or Oz could be next in the Hall of Fame. Just saying, throwing it out there. So. So Mustafa Ali, we'll see what happens with him. Mustafa, I still screw it up. And
it's their fault that you're screwing it up. So
it's WWE's fault that I'm screwing it up. Yeah, I mean, I've got to retrain
because they
myself.
called him Mustafa Ali for years, and it's
See, I remember, and also I know him from. I remember back in the day when he was at Super Indy some 10 or so years ago when he was doing the Prince Mustafa Ali and was doing basically the thing that he doesn't. He's kind of rallying against now, where he was like that stereotypical, So
was he just Aladdin?
No, but he did have he had like.
Well, no, I'm legit asking. Like, was he Prince Ali, Fabulous Ali Ababwa?
No, more the hated Iron Sheik type character than anything.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it was the whole like.
So he was live action Aladdin. Got it.
Oh. Yeah. Could we have Mr. America? You know what? Hey, no matter what, just catching up with these in the chat room. But hey, no matter what happens with Cody, at least we got Fuego too in AEW. I haven't heard anything about his contract status. So John Moxley popped up over the weekend. Apparently, this is the question I've been having. I've been seeing the tweets about it. So John Moxley popped up at the GCW show. Has been out of action since.
Was he there, or was it just announced that he was coming back?
I believe he was there, wasn't he? I thought
I didn't see any pictures of him. Right?
Let me.
I didn't get a chance to watch.
Is he still their champion? Is it?
At GCW?
Yeah.
I thought he dropped that
Did he?
to.
No, he dropped it.
Okay. Yeah, he dropped that to Nick Gage, who then was fighting with Zack Ryder.
Yeah.
We got Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona, and then did Effie have it now? Maybe. I'm gonna catch up.
Okay.
No, the biggest. Hold on. Before we get to John Moxley, the biggest news.
No, I thought Homicide had the.
That might be right. But the biggest news is the ECW TV Championship got defended this past weekend at GCW.
Oh, it did. That's right. Yeah.
Yep. What was it? Rhino?
It was
Rhino and Cardona.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And I think Cardona won it, didn't he?
Yep.
Yes, he did. And then he promptly threw it in the trash.
There you go.
Man.
As you do. As you do. And GCW, never to miss an opportunity, are definitely doing. I saw their line of merchandise that are all old school ECW, GCW stuff. So that's nice going to Hammerstein, right? It feels right.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
It makes sense, absolutely. So that might be.
Although, if you're gonna win the ECW TV title, shouldn't you have saved that for the Hammerstein show?
Mike, if they did this now, what do you think they're going to do at GCW at Hammerstein? You don't think there's going to be another homage? Like, there's got to be something else that they can do with this.
I mean, is Rhino booked there because he was the last heavyweight champion?
That's the other thing. Maybe Rhino couldn't make the Hammerstein, so they did this now, kind of thing too. You don't know. The wrestling booking's ridiculous.
Cardona walking in with the Hammerstein with that title. Oh man.
Yeah. See, that's what he should have put. He should have trashed it there.
My God, just
He
remember.
if you're gonna
Think
trash the
back.
belt, trash it in Hammerstein.
Think back to One Night Stand when John Cena rolled
Right.
into the Hammerstein ballroom, right?
Yep.
You know, I mean, that is the height of most hated, save for maybe Jerry Lawler in ECW arena. At that
all right,
point,
oh, it's the height for most hated that isn't because of things you can't say on television today.
Hmm?
Because Lawler was and is an asshole, and like pretty much said every kind of insult you can't say on TV today. John Cena literally just showed up.
Yeah, that is true.
But we're talking 2000 and what? 2005, like never losing John Cena, like that was like against RVD, right? I mean,
Our guy gets a T-shirt tossed back to him. Cardona going into Hammerstein could be near Riot.
And Chelsea Green also has Francine inspired merch. That's Chelsea 469.
Oh, jeez.
Just like the Francine shirts back in the day.
They're having way too much fun with this. Way too much fun with this. So, but hey, that's that's what happens when you get out and get to do what you want. There was an interesting. Actually, I'm just remembering because I do subscribe because we were curious about them when they first happened. I do subscribe to the Cody Rhodes text line, by the way.
Oh boy. I'm surprised we didn't get an update from Riz on this.
And usually it's like, hey, make sure you watch the Go Big show, and hey, I'm going to be on AEW this week, and things like that. But today there was just a simple text that says, "Bet on yourself always." So read that how you will into that. So. So Moxley's coming back. So how do you feel, Mike, about, I think I know where you'll go with it. I feel a little weird that GCW had John Moxley come back before AEW did.
Yeah. I mean, it's it is what it is. They have a relationship with GCW, so
obviously
I'm sure they didn't do anything out of line or anything like that. I just hope Moxley's okay. Honestly, that's all I really hope for the situation. I hope 3 months is enough time for him to kind of be on the road to recovery for whatever he needed to be gone for.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, to me, it doesn't really matter where he was announced first, because I remember back in the day when they broke up the Beautiful People in TNA, I saw them wrestle each other at an NEW event before they even had the feud on Impact. So, like, sometimes indie feds, and GCW is an indie fed, but like, they're a high-end indie, so I'm sure they did everything with AEW's permission.
And to be fair, I'm sure there's plenty of people that watch on Wednesday nights that have no idea GCW is a thing.
Very true.
Just numbers wise, right? I mean, so like,
there were a bunch of people who had no clue who this guy was that was cutting up Chris Jericho with light tubes.
Who was unless they watched the way they had into it, like I have a feeling you had a lot of people who was like, oh shit, that's the guy from Dark Side of the Ring. Oh no, Chris Jericho's in trouble. He's going to murder Chris Jericho for real. And I don't, because that's one of the greatest things. Because what was great about the Attitude Era, right, was you didn't know what was what, right? You know, especially with the, you know, WCW versus WWE war, the rolling up the tank on Arena. You're like, is this, wait, who's playing ball here? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like Nick Gage kind of rides that line pretty good.
Wait, hold on, Sorg.
Hmm.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. You said Cody tweeted bet on yourself.
No, we did not tweet it. It was in the text message.
It was so I was just I'm like, something about that struck me. I wanted to get this out before I forgot. So Johnny Gargano just retweeted a link that he's going to have a special shirt on sale for only one more week when AEW is in Cleveland. And the shirt says bet on yourself.
I mean, that's pretty standard for everybody who leaves.
But Sorg, it would be exactly this type of thing to have Johnny Gargano beat Cody Rhodes next week in Cleveland.
Beat, but at least, I don't know about beat, but at least arrive in Cleveland.
Beat him.
You're see, this is it, Mike. You're just like, I don't want just him to show up. I want him to do this other thing because I think it's the right thing, right? Like you're just looking for every angle for Cody to get that belt off of him.
Yes, because Cody's looking for every angle to get that belt off him, so he can be the first 4-time TNT champion.
He's going to be the TNT, the TBS, the CNN, everything that Turner owns is just going to be everything.
Is that the next one, the CNN?
How many?
Wait, can we get? Well, I think we talked about a while ago. You know, who gets the Cartoon Network championship?
Right. Yeah.
Right. So is that
Rey Mysterio?
Rey Mysterio?
He's going to have his own cartoon show.
He is going to have his own cartoon show. I mean, I think one of the best friends should have the Cartoon Network championship for sure. Like that could be the Orange Cassidy championship. So by the way, I get a random video today. I have to talk about this and how amazing my wife is, because I get this random video and I'm looking at it, I was like, why is she showing me a video of her keyboard? But then I click play and finally turn the audio up because I'm like, okay, maybe she's saying something, and it's not doing anything now, but it's that she is enamored with the Orange Cassidy theme. And of course it comes up every other day on our Google Music playlist. So it's just a pan around of the office. I'm not there, and she says, "Where's Orange Cassidy?" so she has been, and of course, like she's seen Orange Cassidy on the Indies well before Orange Cassidy is a very gifable, you know, mainstream success like he is now. But so I just love that. And I always talk about, like, I mean, you guys have seen her at a lot of wrestling shows, right? And she was a wrestling fan, and that's one of the reasons why we, you know, connected. But she's been exposed to so much. She's been just so overrun with it. But for some, Dynamite still gets her. If I have it on, especially the Orange Cassidy stuff or whatever else, or maybe it's because she sees a lot of familiar faces, Lee Moriarty, Wardlow, you know, people that we've known, you know, here locally in Pittsburgh for years and filmed so many times. But I think, you know, it's got something that catches it's that, I think it's a perfect example of the last fan kind of getting still reconnected with this promotion. So, and that's something special, you know, they can't put your finger on. So, anyway, so let's we'll get into some more stuff here later, but first of all, I want to talk about what's going on over at IndieWrestling.us. Of course, a big weekend. We had Pro Wrestling Conquest. Holla If You Hear Me was on pay-per-view. Thank you for everybody that did participate in that, watched it live, and of course a lot of people picking it up on VOD after the fact. Of course, Scott Steiner was there. Fandango took on Levi Everett. Levi Everett eventually, actually as a surprise, became the Imperial Champion, beating Jock Sampson. So you can see how that happened. Unfortunately, Cole Carter, apparently WWE signed him and hid him in a closet. So he's not allowed to be anywhere. So it's a one-way ticket to Orlando, it seems, to hide away until he's been given a new name like Swole
Carter Cole.
Swole Carter. I don't know. But, you know. Swole Carter. You want to put
Wow.
bets on that? Is that going to be his name when he comes back?
No, I'm not going to put bets on that.
No? Okay.
No.
I'm sure it'll be even more generic. So, so
It'll be Ron Breaker.
Ron Breaker. Oh God, I hate NXT.
He had to leave because he didn't want to face Tito, so that's why.
Is that it? Was that the
that's
lineup
why
for
he
this
just,
weekend? Yeah, because I know he's got a belt he's got to relinquish or something, right?
probably for
So
the best.
yeah. Well, taking the easy way out, as you will. I mean, if I saw that guy on the other end of the ring, I'd be concerned too. So, but anyways, a lot happening there. Fandango, the former Fandango, Dirty Dango, part of the show. Beastman and the Man Scout. There was some tent action happening. You can interpret that however well. There's some gifts out there. Trailers, of course, will be coming soon to the feeds and everything. And also there was Prospect Pro Wrestling's WWE 3, the Walter White III Memorial, which I don't know what. So the last two shows for 2PW have been kind of charity shows. There's this one, and then there was for the family of WWE 3 that had passed. A couple of months ago. It was a big part of helping out behind the scenes with Prospect Pro Wrestling. We also did a great Christmas Toys for Tots show in December, and I don't know what it is, but 2PW definitely hitting their stride right now. And we did do a live stream and had a link for donations for anybody that wanted to watch it live with us on Saturday night. That also, of course, everywhere over on IndieWrestling.us, Indie Wrestling Network, on the YouTube as well. If you have a membership over there, you can get that. And we did also drop a lot of new content, new old content, I suppose, is over on the YouTube membership platform. Just like how Impact Wrestling has their memberships over on YouTube, we have that over there as well. You can check out the extended catalog of 2PW, Prospect Pro Wrestling, Rise Wrestling with a Y. Our friends over at the Renegade Wrestling Alliance that have a big show coming up this weekend is their big 13th anniversary show. And remember, literally last time we were there was a bit of an incident. And actually that footage dropped tonight. You can see exactly what happened that our cameras caught for IndieWrestling.us when things broke down a bit over there between O'Shea Edwards and J-Rock and the entire locker room, and broken speakers and chairs and some of my own equipment with that situation. But also we're adding such classics. Mike, are you ready for this? Such classics as debuting on YouTube as The Legend of Virgil and his traveling merchandise table.
Oh, boy. Oh.
Yes. Or as I like to call, one of my days with Virgil.
Oh, boy.
Have you watched that yet?
I have not seen it.
Oh, jeez. We're going to send you a link here.
Oh, man. I don't know if I want that much Virgil in my life.
But don't you want Joe grilling Virgil about the facts that he spouts with pop-up video answers to those facts?
I mean, yeah, I do. But at the same time, I don't want to hear his responses.
Remind me to send a screener copy of Virgil to Mad Mike tonight at 11:30.
Oh, boy.
There you go. You're going to get that.
Oh, boy.
A lot of other fun stuff, a lot of classic stuff popping up in there. Some of the best ofs. We just dropped the best of Ray Rowe in there. A couple other best ofs are coming up as well. So we're just fleshing that out a little bit to make it, we're getting a little closer to what it was for what's going on over the Indie Wrestling Network as well. Several weeks ago, we added a lot of Vicious Outcast Wrestling to it. There's a lot of faces on there that you may know, including MV Young and a lot of people that are in a lot of other promotions around here too. But go check that out. But also a part of that, you can also see our guests tonight. You can look them up, especially with Prospect Pro Wrestling as part of IndieWrestling.us. But sorry, some tweets are popping up over here. They're fun. So, somebody's on the Facebook. Caller, turn your radio down. It's still going.
Somebody's first day.
Who's got their phone on? No, that's me. That's me doing it. My
man.
thing is.
I was gonna say,
It sounded like it was across the room. I'm blaming our guest
He's
right
blaming
now.
everybody
Oh no,
else. Wow.
I don't want to do that this week. Tito, Oric, and the Lebanon Don Joey Moses joining us as well. So it's time to get to know you guys a little bit here. So first of all, like, you guys are, of course, with Prospect Pro Wrestling, IWC, big in the area here over the last few years. So those that don't know, who is Tito and the Lebanon Don in wrestling?
So I perceive myself as the Pablo Escobar of professional wrestling. I am the Shaw of the squared circle. I am, the reason those people are in their seats, because I own the seats and I own the people in them. I've grown up with a silver spoon, and I met Tito Oric probably the summer before COVID. I was in Europe, and Tito was a bouncer at a nightclub, and I went outside to take a phone call, and I remember seeing Tito. It was actually unbelievable. So he picked up this man. This man was being very, disobedient. And Tito picked him up off his feet. And this man may have been, 6 foot tall. Tito lifted him up off his feet and proceeded to headbutt him so hard. This man looked like his face became a deflated basketball. And I said to myself, this man, as in Tito, can be something. So, once, wrestling came back after COVID, we've been, I made him an offer to come in and be part of what we're doing, and we've been doing this ever since.
Mm-hmm. So you guys have been, involved in some interesting feuds over the last few years, especially with Prospect Pro Wrestling. Mm-hmm. I know yourself, Joey Moses. You had some run-ins with a longtime friend of the show here in the Reverend Hunt for a while. Mm-hmm. Even we do feature in the intro to 2PW your matching styles. I don't know if you were having a style off at the time or something like that.
His shirt was fake. Mine was real. So
I see.
Yeah,
I see.
Right. Yeah. So,
but things like that. And of course, Tito's been, several months over the summer here, was involved with the country hammer Jamie Jameson, the current top prospect champion, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And Tito beat him once. They took each other to the brink. There was a board with barbed wire involved at some point. So Tito doesn't back down from any fight, and I hope that Tito does get another shot against Jamie Jameson. I think that, I honestly think, and this is my personal opinion, that I think the wrong person is the champion. I think Tito Ward should be walking around with the Prospect Pro Wrestling Championship and not Jamie Jameson, but that's just me.
Mm-hmm. Tito, I know you don't speak much for English, but you have any words for Jamie Jameson? That is a middle finger. That is definitely universal, along with that. So, of course, you guys, 2PW is known for a lot of tag team wrestling, and it feels like it's just beginning to maybe ramp up a little bit here as well. You guys have been involved in a few matches together, the Rad Boys. Just in December last time you were there. I know you guys didn't make the show this month because I think you were I remember we put the promo out right before you were occupied. You were vacationing. You're already scheduled. I understand it's the new year and you gotta I don't know, frequent flyer points or something like that.
Yeah,
is that the case?
I don't do the cold weather very well. So
okay.
It was, I knew the snowstorm was coming, and I said, I let Marshall know, I'll be back, and we came back. We actually came back in yesterday after the snow hit, and I just couldn't. I don't do snow very well. Yep.
Just in time for the show. I appreciate that.
Yep,
I definitely appreciate that. So tell me a little bit about, like I said, you got a little bit of a tag team legacy here with the two of you guys. What does that division look like for you? What are you gunning for? The Runway, Calvin Couture, and Tyler Klein, of course, is the champions right now.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think it's a very well-rounded tag team division. I know that the ETF If the Rad Boys, we would love to, destroy them at some point once again. But we've been, feuding with now the Sons of Liberty, I own Super Hentai now. Dennis Gregory is sitting there with a concussion probably after Tito threw him into a chair.
Well, we'll roll that back because Super Hentai is a long-time friend of the show. I mean, an over 20-year veteran in the game here in Pittsburgh, and I know in our promotion over at RWA he had lost his name because of a match with Jason Gorey, or Gorey, who I don't know, maybe he lost his first name. I'm not sure where we're at with that either. But then the next 2PW. Explain. You somehow you acquired that dropped name of Super Hentai, now AHL Supreme?
I did, yeah. So, the trademark was never renewed, and I saw that afterward, and I decided to purchase it. It went to the highest bidder, and I don't think anybody's going to outbid me. So I decided to purchase it, and, I will continue to do whatever I want with it. Like I said, I can make, Super Hentai Markets, I could do Super Hentai Mario, whatever it is, whatever I want to do with Super Hentai is, I can make it, make socks with it if I want to. So, I'm going to make it a lot bigger than he ever has. So that's for sure.
Interesting. Are we going to be? Is there some integration with what's going on here at 2PW? Are we going to see a Tito Super Hentai Orch? Maybe.
Could be. You never know. I that's the thing. We could get Dennis Gregory too if we want. I don't know. We could. I'm very much looking forward to doing a lot of different things with my newly acquired Super Hentai trademark name. So I would just be on the lookout for this year because we will continue to keep using it, keep flaunting it wherever we go.
So can you give me a hint? Can I get? Are we looking at apparel? Are we looking at a style wear? Are we looking at are you going to be like Bitcoin mining with this, like Radio Shack did?
Yeah, it could be NFTs. It could be Tito Orch over here is wearing a very lovely vest. We can make Super Hentai Kevlar vests. There's a lot of things that we can do. So like I said, just be on the lookout for this year because it's we're gonna go global with it.
Okay. I'm looking forward to that. Super hentai industries, if you will, not just a fancy wrestler in a mask, I suppose. So does that imagery as well, or just the name?
Just as of right now, just the name. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Working out the rest. I'm sure the lawyers are involved. You can't say very much.
Right.
So exactly. So of course you got a lot going on here. Tell me a little about Tito. A little bit more about that origin. How long has Tito been here in the States? What was this the upbringing in Bosnia that has enforced this guy to be such a force there in wrestling?
Absolutely. So Tito grew up in a war-torn Bosnia in the early 90s, and I know he moved around a lot, lived in Germany, lived in different areas, and then he moved to the United States. He came here, he came with me once I found him in Europe, but he does have some family here, but now at this point, he honestly is just an absolute wrecking ball when it comes to it. I think he was absolutely born to do this. He's been absolutely born to, be the bone breaker that he is. And he's obviously done that before. Like I said, breaking the man's face. He did break Corey Futuristic's wrist at one point in a match. So he's lived up to his name the entire time. And we're really just looking forward to building, seeing what we can do to make him the number one star here in all of independent professional wrestling at this point.
For sure. Definitely imposing. I'm seeing him looking at me over here, and I'm wondering how much he's understanding what I'm saying because I don't know. I don't like the look he's been giving me lately. So
that's his happy face.
Is that his happy face?
His happy face.
That's his happy face. Okay. As I'm looking at a promo where he's saying he's telling somebody that they are broken. So
that was actually for Jamie Jameson. Yeah, that was actually.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that was leaning into one of those big ones.
Was that the strap match? I can't remember. I think that was the strap.
It was the Dime Time one for the looks of it. So obviously big things with Super Hentai Industries, tag titles over, or even top prospect title over it. You're just getting all of them. What do you think about the new? I don't know if you've seen the footage for it yet, but there's the new Anarchy Championship with 2PW. Of course, part of the WWE Memorial Show, a big thing that Walter was a part of bringing in, and a fantastic big belt. I obviously haven't seen it in person yet, but it's the heaviest belt I think I've ever held in a good long time too. So is that something? I figure that's something Tito may be a good fit for, match wise, because we've definitely seen him with the violence here in 2020.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think the biggest mistake was introducing that belt, introducing that division, because that entire division, that entire belt was made for Tito Ortiz. I did watch the footage back of the match, and there's thumbtacks, there's trash cans, there's kendo sticks. You're asking for a lot if you're gonna step into the ring in an Anarchy type style match with Tito Ortiz. So. Like I said, I think that was a big mistake on Prospect Pro Wrestling's part, but that belt's going to look really good around Tito Ortiz's waist at some point.
Absolutely. Current champion Stevie LaBelle, friend of the show, he'll be joining us here in a few weeks as well. Any messages for him?
I don't know.
Does Tito have any messages for Stevie there? He's doing the belt.
The discount double check, right?
The discount double check, yes. As well. But again, I'd say that was a pretty vicious match. A little bit of footage coming up now. Him and Philip Archer there. I think he just took a trash can, and of course a lot of blood involved. Like I said, it was pretty nice. Some of the sickest kendo shots I think I've ever seen in person.
That's until you put a kendo stick in Tito Ortiz's hand.
Oh jeez. Oh, no. The worst thing was they had tiny, short kendo, baby kendo sticks. Which probably hurt much worse. And
right.
Yeah, so anyways, you're always coming from, I get the promos, we put them on the social media, and you're always coming from the most interesting of places. So that's been interesting to watch as well. Anything else? Anything you're looking out outside of Prospect Pro Wrestling, the wrestling world at large for the two of you?
This year, this is the year of Don and Tito. We really want to make an impact wherever we go, and it's going to start at 2PW. We do have our eyes on, the 2PW Tag Team Championships. So, like I said, I feel bad for everybody that's going to be in that division moving forward. But honestly, wherever our goal is to make 2022 the year of Don and Tito. So, we want to make an impact wherever we go. We want to go. As many places we possibly can to, impose our will and really just make a statement. So that's what we want to do this year.
Excellent. Tito, you got any final words here before we go to break?
Mislim, dobro mi pasalo kad bi imao 3 šampiona. 1, 2, 3. Sve 3.
You got a little bit of translation for us there, or can we just read between the lines?
Win all the belts.
All the belts.
1, 2, 3.
At least he knows sign language. Thank you so much, of course. And again, you guys will be sticking around and will be involved with Mayhem Mania here after the break as well, making some big moves, right?
Sounds great.
All righty. So in the meantime, give a shout out to our friends at Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. And now we know we have a lot of people in the chat room, like I said, out in the West Coast, Midwest, Middle America, Midwest, wherever Kansas City is. I don't know. But
somewhere in there.
It felt like everybody else was there this weekend, I think, at the Chiefs game. So I think my sister was there. That's crazy. I'm like, how'd you get to Kansas City? But anyways, and of course, our friends Matt Light, Britt Baker were, of course, in the front row a lot. We saw a lot of pictures of those. I think they made the broadcast as well. But anyways, if you're not in Pittsburgh, to support our good friends down the road here at Slice on Broadway, New York City style yins are made. Tastes great after 6 hours in a car, or 8 or 10. We'll keep you ambiguous, Mike, and rewarmed as well. But if you're not in the area, just like we ask you to please support your local independent professional wrestling, please support your local independent pizza provider of quality mind you, there's some shit out there. There's some pizza shit out there. There's some shit pizza. No, none of these are working. Just scrap that. But Slice on Broadway is not the best ingredients. Some of the best pizza in the area. I think they were the best pizza in the area officially, according to some of our local rags here in the city. So go check them out. If you're coming through Pittsburgh, if you're a fan or wrestler coming through, make sure to check them out. 4 locations, or look them at Grubhub, wherever you are. That's how Riz gets it out there. He's a little bit outside of the city limits, and they definitely still connect that for him as well. So go check him out, sliceonbroadway.com. We're going to go to a quick break, and then we are going to come back here momentarily with more. And Mayhem Mania Chad is warming up the big board. And we got graphics and everything this week. So all set to go. Excited to see what's going to happen with that. We'll be right back after this.
What's up? It's the Gigabyte Grizzly Brohemian, and this is a messed up time we live in, so I need you all to do me a favor. Wear your mask. Like this, not like this, or like this, or like this, like this. Wear your mask. It's for your safety and mine. Because if I see you without one, I'm going to pump kick a mask onto your face. Got it?
For a foot or an inch, yeah, I fight for you all. Is the truth, and I'm in, yeah, I fight for every breath.
The world of pro wrestling, it's bigger than ever. So how can you possibly keep up with everything that's happening? Just pro wrestling news. Don't fear falling behind. Give us just 5 minutes every morning, and we'll catch you up on the biggest news in the world of pro wrestling. No filler, no rumors, no spoilers, no pop-ups. Just pro wrestling news. Subscribe on your favorite podcast app or tell your smart speaker to play the Just Pro Wrestling News podcast. Find out more. Go to justprowrestlingnews.com.
Savon's Legendary Podcast.
Shout out to Grind TV Network on Roku.
Grind City. And you know this, man.
You know what I'm saying? It's like right place, right time, out of nowhere.
partner coming to save.
Tony Johnson, we saw him battle Edric earlier, but this is a 2-on-1 mugging.
What's up? It's the Gigabyte Grizzly Brohemian, and this is a messed up time we live in, so I need you all to do me.
It is the second half of the Wrestling Mayhem show, which means it is also time for, let me cue the graphic, you just heard the music, it is time for Mayhem Mania! There it is. Yes, we see right there, right there. We got the graphics and everything all set to go. I got the graphics here for all the matches and everything, and let me make sure they're all set to go too. But I will hand it over to the master of Mayhem Mania ceremonies, Chad the Shad, over on the Zoom lines. Chad, how you doing tonight?
Doing pretty good.
Doing
pretty good. Hope everyone is well on this cold evening.
So you're feeling good? Like you're not? I've been worried about you being overwhelmed with all the Mayhem Mania. I mean, taking it on. I mean, you've only done it for like a week at a time before, and now you've just been taking on the whole thing.
Yeah, it's an endeavor. It is taking a terrible physical toll on my body, but I will survive.
Okay. All right. Well, let's
see how I am in March. Then
yeah, that's when we gotta be really worried about you.
We haven't hit the Rumble yet, sir.
I may mentally be gone. Just gone.
Right, exactly. So get with it. We of course have our new guests here, Tito, Oric, and the Lebanon Don Joey Moses. And actually, before we get into this, because we wanted to make sure we were working on some stuff on the break. That's why we went along. If you're with us live on video, but we did find something to help. This is a podcast. It is audio. A little bit of a translator situation got updated here. Tito, I understand you can now communicate a little cleaner with us now. Is that correct? Let's see, he's on his phone. Okay, and
He'll break your fucking neck through this translator.
Oh boy.
I'll take that as a yes.
That's an affirmative.
Yes. That is the most threatening lady translator voice I've ever heard.
I'm glad I'm 12 to 13 hours away.
How do you? If you keep going, you're going to be in the ocean, Mike.
Depends on which way I'm going.
That's
You don't
right.
know.
Anyway, so Chad, with that, with Mayhem Mania.
Well, let's get Mayhem Mania Week 4 underway here. Just for a primer, we always talk about this. Mayhem Mania is back, and it is not just the ultimate fantasy booking challenge. It's also a competitive thought experiment. The object of Mayhem Mania has always been to craft the best WrestleMania card possible within the boundaries of our current reality. That means anyone from WWE can be booked in a match and is available to our players. But this year there was a twist. Mayhem Mania 2022 is a 2-night event. Night 1 will be the night of our traditional Mayhem Mania card featuring WWE-related matches. But on night 2, we open the forbidden door and make it possible for our players to create matches with anyone outside of the WWE. Now, we also have a restricted area we like to call Space Jail. It is filled with participants across WWE and beyond that are ineligible as of right now to be booked in any matches. The following people are in Space Jail. Sonny Kiss, Cassie Lee, Jesse McKay, Miro, Will Ospreay, Ray Phoenix, Penta El Zero Miedo, Commander Sterling, Ziggy Haim, Avery Good, and Ultra Mantis Black. And I do not believe we'll be letting anybody out of Space Jail this evening, but you never know. Now, we do have a card, 6 matches for each night already made. Tonight's players will be altering matches, 1 match each across any of those nights. So they only get one match to alter to their choosing, and that goes as they can eliminate the whole match and replace it with people that haven't been used. They can eliminate 1 wrestler and add 1 in, or they can add 1 wrestler to the match that's already existing and not really change anything about it. If there are any questions about anything, I can answer them when you have them.
Okay.
So we will lead off. I have Brandon. He is a Mayhem Mania veteran. He has sent me his picks. He will be going first tonight.
Okay.
He is, let me run down the card first, right? We have graphics for this fancy card.
Oh, Tito has a question.
Point of order.
Point of order. He's typing. He's typing. He's typing. He does have a question. We'll get to the matches here as well in a moment.
Sounds good.
He's still typing. We got to work on this translator.
What the fuck is wrong with your face?
There's a lot. A lot.
Okay. All right.
All right. Asked and answered.
Hey. We all can't be as handsome as Lebanon Don and Tito there in studio. We just can't match that level of just charisma and handsomeness. I'm glad I'm not in studio. I'd look like trash sitting anywhere close to them. So I look like just, normal on the Zoom call.
You're too kind. You're too kind.
All right, we got graphics for these matches here, Sorg.
Yes. Go ahead. I'll follow along.
So the rundown of the card is as follows. On night 1, these are all WWE-related matches. We have Beth Phoenix versus Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Gonzalez. For match 2, we have Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus the Usos.
Oh, there it is. I lost it. There it is.
There you go. For match 3, we have Walter versus Samoa Joe. For the next match here, Roderick Strong versus Elias. And we have the 4 horsewomen of Flair, Banks, Lynch, and Bailey versus The Hurt Business, Lashley, Benjamin, Alexander, and MVP. And the last match we have for night 1 is Brock Lesnar versus Cesaro. Then we head over to night 2, where we have Britt Baker and Adam Cole versus CM Punk and AJ Lee versus Jonathan Gresham and Jordan Grace versus Savage Gentleman and Lady Frost. Second match is Shane Strickland versus Lee Moriarty. No graphic.
I didn't grab that one. Oh wait, no, I found it. I found it. There it is.
There we go. There we go. The next match is the Great Muta, Hornswoggle, Scott D'Amore, Ric Flair, Stone Cold Shark Boy, Great Khali, and Naked Mideon.
What a graphic.
All right there. Next match is Dalton Castle versus Warhorse.
Please book it.
The next match is David Arquette versus Danhausen.
Also, please book it.
Also, maybe a preview of Scream 5.
And our last match, Willow Nightingale and Edith Surreal versus Bussy, which is Effie and Allie Catch.
There you go.
Those are the matches. Now let's get to the game. Brandon sent me his pick earlier because he usually does that. He is eliminating the big old Muta, Hornswoggle, Scott D'Amore, Ric Flair,
that was
Khali, Naked Mideon
No, that's
match.
not the one.
He is taking that off the card, and he is replacing it with Zack Ryder versus John Moxley versus Darby Allin.
Oh
boy.
wow. Man, what do you got against Beastman?
Hey, that was Beastman's match. He made that last week,
Mm-hmm.
and it is gone.
I mean, I think I just know for a fact Bradley really, really doesn't like Hornswoggle.
It's possible.
I'm just guessing. I'm guessing.
Possible. Brandon.
Not Bradley.
Brandon, excuse me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So let's see. Number 2 here. Let's see. You want to step up, Mike? I believe you're participating this week.
All
or
right.
Sorg participating this week. Who's?
I believe I am.
Okay.
Sorg, you want to go second then?
I'll go. A little man might go first.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we do have a counter.
Oh yeah, we have a
And
timer.
I'll start you now.
The shot clock. Yes.
Oh boy.
90 seconds on the clock.
So, I kind of want to punish Ronnie Starks. Like, I like his match of Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
But he did forget it was Tuesday and went and saw Scream.
He forgot it was Tuesday.
I take that personally.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got
Especially
heat.
when I reminded him on Twitter
Yes.
that it was Tuesday. So what I'm going to do is, you know what? At least if you watch Raw right now, Sami Zayn is not Kevin Owens' best friend. There's someone else who's Kevin Owens' best friend. That's Seth freaking Rollins. So I'm going to swap. I'm going to swap Sami Zayn and Seth freaking Rollins.
I like it.
So swap Sammy out for Seth.
Yes. Seth freaking Rollins.
Right. F-R-E-A-K.
I-N apostrophe.
Yes. No. No
Yeah.
G.
No G. There's no
All
G.
right.
There's no silent G. It's just freaking.
Freaking.
Yeah.
Freakers.
And
Yep.
then Kevin turns on them.
All
in the
right. So
second
that
annual
is Seth
Festival of
freaking
Friendship.
Rollins
right.
and Kevin Owens versus the Usos. All right. Let's go to Tito. We'll see if he's got a handle on having 2 picks go before him. What would he like to? What match would he like to either alter, erase, or make a new match? Whatever he would like.
He's thinking. He's
No time.
Yeah,
No
I'm
time.
thinking
I'm
about
for
it.
Tito.
Translator.
Oh, yeah, he can take.
He has a.
He can take as much time as he needs. Yeah, for sure. He's thinking.
Honestly, even if he didn't have a translator, he can take as much time as he needs.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Just
I
as-
don't want.
just as
I don't want hurt. So, well, yeah, I'm over.
By the way, in case Chad does offend you, he lives a lot closer than I do.
Yeah, I do.
I'm just.
I don't want, for Sorg's safety, we don't want a hostage situation.
I don't even know where you live since you moved. I haven't been by.
I can
yeah,
we can
Sorg,
come back
I have
to Tito.
moved,
I
and
can go.
Sorg hasn't been to my house.
There you go. Lebanon Don's ready. If we can have him go. And
Yeah.
Tito.
We can. Yes.
We can
go ahead
we can
and
go.
do that.
I'm gonna make it.
Oh
I'm gonna
my
make a new
God.
match.
You're gonna make a new match.
I'm gonna make a new match
Okay.
in the Forbidden Door universe.
Okay.
I want Braun Breaker versus Wardlow in a turbulence match. So they have to fight on an airplane that's going down for landing.
They have to finish the match before the landing.
They have to finish the match before the landing.
That's a good match, but it does break some of our rules with
I think several.
Braun Breaker not being being a WWE talent, and we usually don't apply match types till much later in the game.
Is Dave, right? That's your name?
Chad.
Chad, I'm sorry. If you don't mind, actually, could you check your Western Union right now?
Yeah, I can.
So, like I said, a turbulence match, I think, would be really interesting. Maybe on a Delta flight, perhaps. Maybe on a, I don't know. Maybe one of those United
Spirit
Emirates
Air.
flights. Maybe
Spirit
Spirit.
Air.
Spirit. Yeah, those they're cheap. They can rip the seats apart.
That sounds completely doable. I believe we can push that right through. That sounds
I'm glad
within the
we came to an
realms of
understanding.
possibilities to me.
Wonderful.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What just happened?
Yes, sir. All right, Braun Breaker versus Wardlow in a turbulence match, sponsored by Spirit Airlines.
Pick your own seat. Damn.
They'll be picking many, I believe. Right?
Those Spirit Airline seats are hard too. It's just like a bus bench. It's weird.
I feel like those two would just rip them out, right? They don't.
Yeah,
need them.
exactly.
Like, those two would
Yeah.
just rip them apart at that point.
Okay.
All right. If Tito is ready, we can go with his.
He's
working.
He's working
Does
on
it have to be current roster?
Dealing with. Anybody?
I mean,
well, basically,
phone call-
it's
a phone call
anybody.
away.
If you're doing WWE, it's anybody within a phone call of Vince McMahon. If he can pick up the call, if he can pick up the phone and say, "Hey, pal, can you be here Sunday?" then you can book them. Yeah, if they're like Lita or whatever, you can book them. If they have injuries, that's gonna be a case call depending on what their injuries are or whatnot. And they have to be alive. That's a big one.
That's a big one.
Can't really change that. So.
Yeah.
Unless you do a back from the dead match, perhaps maybe.
He's translating. Just working it up. There's a question from the chat room while we're waiting for the Tito answer.
Yes.
And Brandon is asking, does someone need to get rid of Samoa Joe tonight since he's no longer with WWE? I think the rule was he is in the match until somebody removes him, and then we just can't put him back in another one.
Well, no, he has a no compete. So
Yes. The
no
the
compete
official,
rule. Okay.
The official ruling was Samoa Joe, per what has already happened in real life, he has a potential to be rehired.
That is true. That is true. That's right.
So
I remember going over
because
that.
of that, he has a no compete clause, which is usually 90 days. That is actually up April 6th, and WrestleMania is April 2nd and April 3rd. So
Okay.
Also, Chad, I do want to make a petition. We do not use the new ring name for Walter in any future editions of Mayhem
What
Mania,
is
and
the-
we just continue to call him Walter.
What is his
what
new
I
ring
may
name?
have missed his new.
Oh, nope, you don't. I'm not even gonna say it.
What?
I'm not even gonna do it.
I gotta look this up now. Okay.
Hmm.
Basically, WWE trademarked the name last night. And it was found out through a very simple Google search that the name that they chose was a Nazi U-boat general.
Oh no!
And that is now Walter's new name.
I saw he was on NXT tonight, but I didn't get to hear them reference him in any way. He was just standing there. And
I just read it. What the shit?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't want to say that either. Okay, that's something. Okay. Well, in the meantime, while that's throwing us off, and
he'll be Walter.
He will always and forever be Walter, all caps.
Absolutely. I think Tito is prepared.
All right.
All right. Here he goes.
Iron Sheik versus Muhammad Hassan versus Miro in a camel clutch submission match. Fuck your rules. Miro is out of jail.
Wow.
Who's in charge of the space jail? Check your Western Union.
It is well, okay.
Actually, all of you just can check your Western Union at this point.
Well,
Hey.
that is a new Patreon.
Sounds like a
level.
great match to me.
Okay.
Bail has been posted. Miro is out.
Excellent. Hey,
Good
you
choice.
know,
Good match. That was good.
Space Jail have very flimsy guards. And
It has been the minimum security space jail for all these years, so
which matches were taken out for those amazing moves that you guys did?
I think the answer was fuck your rules.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
We just
These are
added them.
company
Did we have to
sponsored.
take one
Good.
out? I mean, just let ours go last on the main event.
I
for
mean,
both
if you
nights.
want to. I mean, it's if there's anything you want to strike from the record.
You do
Yeah,
have
were there any matches up there that you didn't like?
You do have the ability to strike a match.
Yes, to replace.
Since you've
if you
added
like.
since you've added a match, you can have that, or you can leave it.
Oh.
You know,
Okay,
it's,
Tito says.
But if they put me in that match, I would break every one of their fragile bones.
I mean,
put
you can't.
yourself in
I mean,
that.
you can
would
put you
imagine.
in that match if you wanted to.
Tito's
In the
in.
match.
Tito's in.
Add Tito to the match.
Okay. Add Tito to the
We'll
match.
take
Tito.
out the 8-man tag, the Hurt Business versus the 4 Horsewomen.
Oh.
And we'll put in Tito
Oh,
versus
fine.
Muhammad Hassan versus Miro versus the Iron Sheik.
Iron Sheik. Okay. You got it. Eliminated.
There you go.
Wasn't meant to be.
Women need to be in the kitchen like in Bosnia anyway.
Oh. Okay.
Hey,
Okay.
different country, different rules.
I
We have
I
to,
guess so.
Respect his country's outlooks, especially when there's a lot of zeros coming in.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
you know, it's like a Saudi Arabia show. We just we take the bag.
Mike, is this our crown jewel?
Yep. I wasn't gonna say it, but we might as well throw an elimination chamber match in there.
Hey.
When I'm here, I run this shit hash be Osnia.
I think that.
Yeah.
Your big
yes.
thumbs. Your big thumbs. You're running the. You misspelled.
Okay.
So Zorg.
How do I follow that up? Let's see. Elias is already on the board.
Sword, this is a gentle reminder to you, Sword.
To what?
He is cleared. You can book Corey Graves.
I can book
He is
Corey
cleared.
Graves.
Corey
is
Graves
cleared for
Corey
in-ring.
Graves is cleared for competition.
Then fuck Roddy Strong. Because this is a battle of Pittsburgh now, baby. It's Elias versus Corey Graves.
Oh man.
Corey Graves being switched out.
Loser
taking
have to go
Roderick
back to their indie
Strong's
name.
place versus Elias.
Well, it's still
I have a question.
It's night one WWE, so it's still WWE names.
I have a question because, and we'll get into this after I do some research. I don't think anyone in the history of Mayhem Mania has changed their own match.
But
I think again we will get into it. I don't think anyone in the history of Mayhem Mania
Has come back.
changed their own match.
Listen. This is a different world than a week ago when Corey Graves was not on the table. Okay,
Absolutely.
And now I have to. Yeah, I mean, seriously, like friend of the show time. Okay, I want to throw him in there.
I get it. I'm one of the it getters. I'm just, I think that's historic.
We're
Well done.
making dreams come true over here. Making
Yeah, it was a historic move to his own match in a historic week.
Yep.
Hey, you know what? If you only change your own match, you will never be disappointed.
Right.
It can only get better, right? It can only get better.
That's right. On retrospect, I would think I want to.
With the benefit of hindsight.
Yes, exactly. But anyways, Chad, does that wrap it up then?
I believe it does. That is 5 changes to the Mayhem Mania card.
There you go.
As we just did, Seth Rollins replaced Roderick Strong. Corey Graves replaced Roderick Strong. It'll be Corey Graves versus Elias. Seth frickin' Rollins replaced Sami Zayn. He will team with his new best friend Kevin Owens versus the Usos. Miro versus the Iron Sheik versus Muhammad Hassan versus Tito has been added to
in a camel clutch match.
What was the
camel clutch match?
Camel
right?
clutch match, yes. Added to the WWE night, along with the elimination of the Horsewomen versus the Hurt Business. Also, the big Battle Royal match was eliminated. Added in its place was Zack Ryder versus John Moxley versus Darby Allin. And Spirit Airlines is proud to present the Turbulence match made by Lebanon Don, Braun Breaker versus Wardlow.
There you go.
Starts on descent.
Is that the bell?
You hear you hear the ding dong, the match may start.
Exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your trays in the upright position because there's going to be some
brace for impact because it's going to get rough in here.
And unhook your seatbelts and let it begin. It's good thing those doors are reinforced. So that is Mayhem Mania. Chad, thank you so much for presiding. I'm sad I didn't get to spin the wheel this week. Maybe on talking today.
Well,
earlier this week.
Someone got freed from space jail.
That is, somebody did get.
Miro posted bail.
That is true. That is true.
Someone posted Miro's bail.
There you go.
And he joined the card.
There you go. All right, guys. End of the show. It is time to find out what everybody learned from wrestling this week. Who would like to go first?
Oh, boy.
I learned that everyone has a price.
I have a song in my head.
Especially after the holidays.
That's right.
That is right. That is right.
I learned that I have a price.
No,
what did I learn this week?
Chad, if you're still thinking, I have one.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
I learned that after watching the first 3 episodes of Peacemaker, John Cena, his new catchphrase is simply freedom. That's it. Like, I don't want him to scream hustle, loyalty, respect. I don't want him to scream you can't see me. I just want him to come out, wave that towel, and just yell freedom.
It really is. It really is.
For those who know, they'll laugh.
It really is the show of what if John Cena was John Cena for so long and really got into guns that he was John Cena so long to become long enough to become the villain. Right?
Yes. It's Injustice John Cena.
Oh, it is. It really is. That's good. That's good.
Is this his heel turn? Is this it? Is that it?
Yes, this is the heel turn.
Oh, yeah. This is his heel turn. But still kind of not, because he's still John Cena and he still looks like a just a fluffed up teddy bear. But yeah, it's kind of his heel turn.
I do love that his dad is the guy that was the bad guy in the Marine with him.
Terminator 2.
And Terminator 2, the T2 or T1000, I guess. Yeah. Chad, what'd you learn?
I learned that does anybody have contracts that they for the companies they work for?
Apparently, they're only a suggestion these days.
Like if you're, I mean, WWE has their contracts, but if you work outside of WWE, the contracts are just whatever.
They're loosey goosey.
I mean,
I guess
they're written on
Cody
tissue
Rhodes,
paper.
Cody Rhodes doesn't have a contract, or
I mean, as easily as
Mickey
WWE
James doesn't have a contract, but they're title holders. So apparently, if you want to go somewhere, sign a contract and get a title after the contract expires. Or
apparently, I mean, maybe these guys, even at this level, still operate on handshake deals of some sort. Like, sure. I mean, like mostly, like I doubt there's a single contract in GCW. So, I mean,
it's a strange world. I learned that. Yeah, it's a strange. Like I was surprised to see like, oh yeah, by the way, Cody's probably not working. He's working without a contract. You know, whatever. He's TNT champion, interim hoop.
He's got a reality show. He does that.
I think this is what he learned. Alex Carr is out there in California says, well, RIP NXT, I guess. Dave Bonner learned that the research on names doesn't matter. Apparently. Some intern out there. Tito, did you learn anything this week?
How could I possibly learn anything when I'm listening to fucking idiots like all of you? But on a real note, I learned that I can talk shit through this app. Ha ha ha, fuck you guys.
Well, there you go.
I think we all learned that today.
I think Tito's had a good time. Jeez.
This is the happiest I've seen Tito in a while.
This is happy? Okay. All right. I learned from the wrestling this week. I got a really good compliment this week from a former WWE wrestler, or maybe WWF wrestler, actually, technically. And that I just wanted to kind of give a shout. I don't want to reveal who it was, but I didn't put them out there. But it was a really cool vibe I got from that, and really appreciate that. And it feels like we're kind of doing something right out there. And that is definitely really appreciated. I know, people usually give a lot of love after we do some of these shows, the 2PWs and everything like that. Yeah, that's kind of what I learned this week from that. So I could tell you guys the story maybe off air or something like that. But so with that, hey, Lebanon Don, Tito, Oric, thank you so much for joining us. Regardless of that last message. So where can people find you either coming up and on social media?
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you for having us. This Saturday we're at IWC's Reloaded. February 12th will be at Prospect Pro Wrestling. Tito you're doing Imagine as well, correct? Yeah, so Tito will be Imagine Wrestling in Altoona as well. Social media, I'm the Lebanon Don Joey Moses. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as those names. Tito will show up, sometimes on Facebook if he's not in Facebook jail. That's pretty much about it for finding him. Otherwise, if you end up seeing him in person, you're probably in trouble. So.
As I probably am now. So thank you so much. Thank you, Tito. Okay. I hope that's a thank you. Mad Mike 483 on the Twitter.
Yep, and I live 15 to 17 hours away, just in case I've offended Tito or the Don there.
He is moving. He is just booking it.
Yes, exactly. He just moved to Canada, apparently. So, wait, we got...
we have to take that. Thank you. So we have the call we have to take. Thank you so much.
Oh, okay. Oh, there you go. They're taking off. But in the meantime, chat on the Twitters. I'm at Sorgatron, and hey, shout out the Patreon, because I don't think I said the Patreon at the beginning of the show. So a quick shout out there to everybody that does support the show there, including our new. Hello. Yes.
You die.
I'm sorry.
Kill.
Is that means something else? Okay. All right.
I think he's telling you a wrap.
I'm gonna wrap this up. Sorry, Patreon, for not shouting you out. But
chat room, I see what you learned. Thank you.
There you go. There you go. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys next time. Mayhem out, and maybe I am too. Later.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack.
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.